Hey everybody, Greg Aidala here, the independent candidate for mayor of Albany, New York. I'm here in the South End today. A few weeks ago, I met a great woman named Cathy. I found really interesting. She's got great insight on her time in residency in the South End. I think you'll find it very interesting. Come on. Well, welcome. We're here in the South End, and I'm here with my friend Cathy, who I mentioned before I met a few weeks ago. I found her very interesting, and I think she's got a great story to share about what she's seen develop and not develop in the South End in her time in Albany. Cathy, welcome. So tell the community, you know what, Cathy, tell the community a little bit about your background and what brought you to Albany.
Well, I'm from Harlem, New York, born and raised in New York City, and I have 41 years recovery. I went into detox in 1982, and they gave me a one-way ticket to Albany County, and I went into a woman's halfway house up here in Albany for 9 months, and I've been in the South in Albany for the last 40 years, and I've been clean. I've seen a lot of building up, but at this particular time, a lot has been torn down. You know, it's just very depressing to not have places to shop, not be able to hang out after dark it's a very big, wide community of people with disabilities, especially senior citizens down here. So it's no places to shop, so I've actually thought about leaving the South End of Albany to find bigger and better places.
Yeah, and it's sad because, you, as you mentioned before, you don't go out of the house after 7 p.m. No one should have to live or work in fear, right? I say this constantly on my message over the past 3.5 years here. No one that should live or work in fear. So you've seen changes in Albany. What specifically have you seen change that excited you about the South End? Your accessibility to certain places. What left?
The stores, the meat market, that I went to for 40 years, he recently closed. To people not accepting food stamps, and the corner stores that do accept food stamps are outrageous prices. Banks are leaving. My bank left with no forwarding address. Just stuff being boarded up, no easy access to anything.
And it's that because the top point of my platform is safety for all residents in the city. You feel unsafe. It's sort of like a line in the sand down here where you can't walk the streets. There's a lot of drug activity, violent activity. You're on the verge of leaving for bigger, better places. And we hate to have you leave, but I understand. What would you like to see when I'm elected mayor, and what we can actually do more to really get things done in the South End, to listen, learn, and invest?
I think there need to be, believe it or not, they used to have a place down here where they had like a satellite police department where, people felt more safer. I believe in police. I believe in, working together with police as far as, where all the beat cops that used to walk the beat come by on their horses and, say hello down the street. I mean, so they need more accessible places, more stores, more lighting, because they put Christmas lights in abandoned buildings for a couple of years where the lighting was very bad. So what happens when the lights go out? Well, you're back to the same thing. So if you decide to take on this role as mayor, revitalization of the South End, meeting up with more individuals in the community in this particular ward, I think is very important. Personally, I think that they don't care about the South End, and we're forgotten about down here. And they have a lot of good base places here, that people could turn to. Albany is a very big recovery town as far as recovery, mental illness. I have my CAC, so I'm a drug and alcohol counselor by trade. And I've seen a lot of people suffering. And I don't understand how the mission houses people, put them out on the streets at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they roam. And it's not like they're going to look for jobs. These people from out of town, so they get involved in this crime, and stuff like that, and we got more crime to deal with, in the South End. But, I just don't understand. It's not all about the shootings. That's everywhere. It's drugs everywhere. It's like everybody's so segregated here compared to how I grew up in Harlem during the civil rights years. Very different. Very, very different. And unity, like I said at the Cultural Festival, is the key word, and communication to everything.
And I'm glad you mentioned that about unity, community, communication, transparency. There isn't any with this administration. There's none. And I think, unfortunately, the South End is forgotten. And it's the same, where I am in the West Hill. It's the same sort of a story. And I think because beat cops that I'm a fan of, I am, but the department, we're down dozens of cops, and we can't retain them here. So I am with you 100% about more community, transparency, safety, lighting, fun, excitement. That's what the city was built on, and hopefully we can get that back to its better days as to be the beacon for the entire region. So that said, I want to thank Cathy for her time today in a beautiful South End. I think we can really get this beautified again. People come down and invest, and because there's a lot to do.
I know, and now they're ripping up Lincoln Park. Where do the kids go down here in the summertime?
It's a shame. It's a real shame. But I hope better days are coming, and I hope that I can steer that ship, and people like you will get on that boat with me, and we can steer it back into positive light. So I want to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Greg.
And your insight. It's been a pleasure to get to know you over the past few weeks, and I hope to continue this relationship truly as a friendship. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the audience about what you think of me over the past few weeks?
I think you're real. I've talked to a lot of people. I've done a lot of community activism in Albany County, and I don't invite everybody into my safe space. And I have another friend that he started up from day one. And like Jerry Garcia said, what a long, strange trip it's been. And he's still out there, doing his thing. And I think you're going to be good based on, what you've witnessed, what you've experienced. Because if you don't experience something, how are you going to really know, and feel what people are going through? And maybe it's time for new blood.
I appreciate that. I hope so too. So thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you for inviting us into your dwelling and your private life. It's appreciated.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Okay.